Hello everyone, this is Kurokku Speaks, bringing you a rant, I guess. And before anyone, comes at me like, you said you weren't doing rants, this rant isn't on a person, it's on a specific subject that's actually been irking me since, I think, good 2-3 years ago. And since it's not aimed at a person, I feel like it's okay to do it because I'm not specifically saying like with this person and this person, like aiming anything at them. And I don't have like any people in particular that this is actually about. This is about just personal things that I've come across that have actually made me really mad because it's rude and insensitive and it irks me, and it always has. And I know I made like a journal entry about it in my last account, but I deleted most of that stuff, so I'm pretty sure it's gone. So I just wanted to like now go out and actually voice my opinion, and since I have that ability now, I guess I can do that. So I was like, oh cool. I want to say right now that it's like almost 2:30, so if this goes off on occasion, I apologize. I'm tired. And like, I don't know if this will even end up posted. I don't know why I'm telling you that. If this doesn't end up posted, I'm gonna feel really stupid. But it might not end up posted anyway, so I'm just warning you that if this just kind of goes places, it's not unexpected considering it's almost 2:30. So the subject I wanted to speak about was ungrateful artists, and I know they're like everywhere and it really irks me, but the place I mostly see them is DeviantArt because it's like the only place I'm at. But like, how many times have you like gone across someone's page and you see like they get just links of like fan art, and they get people like telling them like, oh hey, I drew you this, and then all these really nice things, and there's not a comment anywhere, there's no thank you like anywhere, and sometimes they don't even favorite the work. So I mean, like, this artist pours their heart and soul into a picture, and the receiver of this art doesn't even acknowledge that it exists. And it really does make me mad because like, they don't have to draw you this stuff, and sometimes that's their excuse. They're like, well, they didn't have to draw it. And that's exactly why you should be honored and flattered and be happy that you're getting it, because they didn't have to draw anything for you. They didn't have to give you anything. They didn't have to do anything. They did it because they wanted to. They did it because they felt like they could, that they should, that you deserved it. And I was thinking about it today, and I made the connection. Think of your best friend comes to you and gives you a present, and it's not your birthday or anything. They just said like, oh hey, I found this, I thought it was really cool, I thought you'd like it, and they give you a present. Now imagine throwing that present in the trash and walking away without any acknowledgement to that friend. Like, you literally just pissed on something that someone took the time to make for you. And I mean, I know that like sometimes you don't know the people, but I mean, that's kind of like if a little kid came up to you and drew a picture and said, hey, look at this, and you went and then just walked away and just ignored that poor little kid. Like, I think of like all the times my brother draws me art, and he's like 9, and he draws me like Club Penguin pictures, and he'll draw like characters that he knows I like and stuff, and I acknowledge it. I don't sit there and just like, oh okay, and then turn around and like toss it somewhere where he's looking. I usually stash them and I say, thank you, you know, I really like this. And I mean, I just think of like, you know, I know like from personal things, and this is just from, you know, being a commissioned person, like when people commission you and you do something for them and then they never acknowledge that you did it, like that makes you feel really unsure, and it's like, oh, did I do bad? You know, and then it sits there for like the rest of your life. You always just kind of like, one minute you're sitting there eating dinner and it just comes back to you in this flashback and you cringe and then you curl up in the corner and cry because you're like, oh God, they didn't like it. But I mean, it's so irritating because, you know, you sit there and you pour your heart out into something. And I know that, like, I think some people maybe do it just for the acknowledgement. You know, like some people will draw a picture and do it just because they want someone to acknowledge them. I do understand that. I understand that, you know, popularity does get to people, and it's actually very frustrating of that fact because, you know, I've never been the popular person ever. I've never been like the super popular deviant or YouTuber or person in school. But when I see people and I see them letting it go to their head, it's disgusting. And it's the same for people that grovel at their feet because they think maybe they'll acknowledge me and then I'll be cool. Like, what is that gonna accomplish? So you're sitting on someone else's shoulders to get acknowledgement. What happens when that person disappears? What happens to you? Are you just gonna keep, you know, riding on their coattails? Like, oh, look at me. I knew this person. They acknowledged me. They thought my art was cool. And I mean, okay, I do understand there's some really great artists out there. And I do understand how it feels to be acknowledged. Like, there will be people that I don't even like their art, and yet I want them to acknowledge me. And I'm like, and I don't know why. I just, there's some people where you really want them to acknowledge you exist. And it's just like an impulse. But I mean, I also don't sit there and like draw them like fan art and stuff. I rarely draw fan art for people. And it's not that I don't like them, it's just, I'm such a lazy person. I'm like, no. But I mean, you know, I don't bend my back to appease others. Like, if they like me, cool. If they don't, well, then I really don't care. But, you know, I'm losing my topic. I'm going on to the topic of the people who want to be acknowledged. I'm sorry. Okay. Some people have considered me popular because I've reached up to like 300 watchers on my last DeviantArt account. Don't ask me why I keep changing DeviantArt accounts. I'm odd. But yeah, I had like 300 watchers. And, you know, I was like, oh, cool. Like, half of them didn't acknowledge me as an actual person. But I was like, cool, you know, 300, that's really awesome. Thank you. And, you know, some people consider me really popular. They would come to me and be like, how do you have so many watchers? I don't understand. And I'd be like, well, I just kind of bug everyone, and people seem to find me and go, oh, hey, you draw art. And then I got people, and I was like, oh, cool. But, you know, I never let that really go to my head. Like, when people said, like, oh, how do you have so many watchers? I'd kind of be like, oh, you know, it's nothing big. It's just, you know. And I always appreciated my watchers. I never, like, tried to be like, oh, I have all these watchers because I'm amazing. No, I was honestly always so humbled. Like, half the time I don't deserve even the 157 watchers I have right now. Like, I look at it, and I went up like 3 today, oh good lord. But I look at my watcher list, and I'm like, I don't deserve you. Where do you people come from? You're all like so much better than I am, and you watch me. And I know, like, a good portion of them don't even really, you know, acknowledge me, but I'm still so flattered that they took the time to watch me. The ones who actually do look at my art and favorite my art and talk to me, you know. And I do get a fair sum of like unrequested fan art. Like I have 2 folders of people, like some are commissions, some are requests, some are art trades, and then I have like a good handful that are just fan art that people have made for me, like sonas that people drew, random fan art and links, and you know, just art in general. And I know I don't like write these long, you know, paragraphs about how much I appreciate it, but I like try to show my enthusiasm. And I always comment, and I always put it in my For Me folder, and I always just flip out because I'm like, oh, this is beautiful, and you know, and it's beautiful because they made it for me. Because someone took the time, sat down, and said, hey, I think Altastic will actually like this picture. And they drew it for me. And sometimes it's my OCs, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's canon characters, sometimes it's my own pairings, stuff like that. And I'm always humbled because, I mean, people sit down and draw me stuff. And I do acknowledge it. And I do thank people to death for it. And I put it somewhere. And half the time I try to find a place for it on my page because, like, I want to be able to showcase it, but like half the time I can't. Because like half my page would be just fan art. But, you know, I always try to express this, I try to always express how thankful I am. And that's the thing that irritates me with ungrateful artists, is that they don't even say thank you. Like, I don't care how popular you are. I don't care if you have 1,000 watchers. You know, I don't care if you have 10,000 watchers. You sit down when you don't have anything to do and you thank them for your art. I get if you can't get to every comment. I understand if you cannot write out these long, fulfilled, you know, big thank you notes. But sit down and thank them. You know, it's not that hard. And I try to like understand, like, yeah, you have like a bunch of watchers, you know, it must be hard. No. You know what? If you have a bunch of watchers, that gives you even more reason to feel so humble that they would even say anything to you. Because half of them could ignore you. Over half of them could just watch you because you watched them first. You can have no watchers. They didn't have to watch you. They didn't have to like your art or your writing or who you are. They didn't have to draw you fan art. They didn't have to respect you. It's an honor and a privilege. It is not some right. And, you know, I try really hard to keep my opinion to myself. But I come across those pages where these people just comment to these people, and I mean, they tell them what an inspiration they are, and they say like, oh wow, you're so cool, I love your art, you know, you're great. And yeah, sometimes maybe they're just trying to butter you up, but you know what, you thank them for it. You know, I mean, I've gotten a few people who have told me that, like, I've inspired them, or I've made them feel so good about themselves that they kind of stop thinking about suicide and stuff like that. And I mean, I am like touched that I have that effect on people, because that's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be someone who's affected people in a positive way. And I honestly don't care if, you know, you never joined to be an inspiration. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. You inspire people. You affect people. You make them happy. Shouldn't that make you happy? Instead of sticking your nose up high like you have some sort of higher privileges and you're better than everyone else. Because honestly, all you are is a jerk when you do that. And I know that, like, I've made a few comments, not like to the people themselves because I'm not like that, but I've made a few comments about it in journals. And a lot of people agree with me because, I mean, it's not right. And what makes me even angrier is the fact that some people actually take the time to sit down and tell people what they did wrong with the pictures that they drew for them. Like, why? What right do you have? You know, someone took the time to draw something for you. They took the time out of their day. They took the time out of their week, their month, their year. It may not be high quality, it may not be as great as the others or something like that, but it's art, and it was made for you. Does it matter? Does it seriously matter? That would be like your little brother or sister walking up, handing you a picture, telling you how much you inspire them, and then sitting down with your little brother or sister and saying, you did this wrong, this is off, this doesn't look good, this art is crap. Like, can you honestly look in the eyes of a little kid and do that? So why is it any easier to do it to someone else who really looks up to you and respects you? Like, it's just sickening and it's disgusting. And people who do that, you don't deserve the fans or the art that you get. Like, I am literally flattered and blown away. I blush when I get fan art. I literally blush. And just to think of someone who sits back and goes, more fan art, and then just exits it. And just... it's disgusting. It really is. And people can be like, no, it's just because I'm busy. If you're busy, then find the time when you're not. Because everyone has time when they're not busy. And you can say, no, I don't. And I don't really care, you do. Everyone finds time. It's not that hard to type thank you. It's really not. It's really, really not. And you can say it is, but it's not. Thank you. Thank you. TY if you have to. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, okay, people like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, I could understand that a bit more because they're popular, they're YouTubers, they get just like thousands of fan art a day. Okay, you get that? Okay, I understand it a little bit. It's harder. Make a journal thanking it. You know, say, hey, this is a journal to thank everyone who's made me fan art. You know, feature a few or something. You know, just thank everyone. Favorite the fan art. I mean, even Jacksepticeye goes on Tumblr and reblogs art made for him and usually comments. Like, seriously? A famous YouTuber has the time to sit down on Tumblr, go look up his name, and reblog art. But you can't take 5 minutes to click on a mention and thank someone. Are you kidding me? Or you sit back and you critique it and tell them what they did wrong. And tell them why the art isn't good and why you're not going to favorite it. You're disgusting. Ugh. It's seriously just disgusting. There's no other word for it. It's not just mean, it's not just unkind, it's disgusting. Because it shows how low you are and how highly you think of yourself. That is such a dick move. And I don't care if people disagree with me on it. It's just, no. It's not nice, it's not okay, and it's not fair. You know, I've seen things where, like, they take it to a website and they post fan art that someone made for them and they mock it. They say, oh, look at this, someone made this for me as fan art. Like, oh, well, gee, I guess because they aren't pro like you, they don't deserve to be treated as, you know, kindly for drawing you something that they didn't have to draw you. And is it their fault? You know, is that going to be the new excuse? Well, it's their fault they drew it. They didn't have to draw it. And again, they didn't have to draw it. So why are you not thankful that they did? I mean, it's disgusting. Jeez. All you have to do is thank them. That's it. You don't even have to write a long post if you don't want to. Just write thank you. I mean, even someone I looked up to greatly, he turned around and he doesn't even thank people. He only comments on the art that he thinks is, I guess, worthy of his praise. I don't know. I mean, I looked up to him because I thought he was such a kind and you know, caring person. And then I turn around and I see that he's honestly just not anything that I thought he was. Sure, he may be caring, but he's not, I mean, he doesn't comment on all of the fan art he gets. He doesn't thank people. And he especially, I don't think he even favorites all of it. You know, and it's just, like, shame on you for those of you who do that. Shame on you for putting artists down. Shame on you for showing them that people they look up to will most likely ignore you. Shame on you. Just, you know, I hope someone does that to you, and I hope you feel like crap. So you get a taste of what you do to other people. I hope that you look up to someone and you draw something for them and they ignore it and they blow you off. So that you can feel what everyone else feels. And I'm not one to, like, I curse you with 1,000 suns, go burn in hell. I'm not like that. But I really do hope that one day you draw something for someone and they just completely don't even look at it, or they tear you down. So that you're brought down to a peg like everyone else is. I just don't understand how people can be so ungrateful. I mean, every watcher I get, I want to thank people who watch me, and I want to thank everyone who faves my art. But the thing is, like, a lot of people don't like it, and then, you know, some people block you, some people yell at you. And it's like, you don't want to get down that road, so I just either send up llamas or I don't say anything anymore because I don't know what they want from me, so I just kind of stay in the sidelines. But I thank everyone for watches. I usually give them a llama. I have to. Like, every person I see that watches me, I check to make sure that they're okay with thank yous, and then I either thank them or send them a llama, or both. I mean, you know, it's just the people who don't do anything for their watchers anymore. They don't thank them for anything. They don't comment to them. Like, that's kind of what DeviantArt is supposed to be for. You're supposed to comment and talk with people. That's kind of the point. And if you're not looking for that, then turn off the comments, because then you don't look like quite as big a jerk when people just send you tons of comments and you don't even say thank you. And again, I know that some artists, yes, don't have the time, but most of you do. And that's what makes me mad, and that's what honestly disgusts me about you guys. Is that a good portion of you are too high and mighty to thank people. Like, 2 words. Are you honestly that prideful? I honestly think I should end it because that went a lot longer than I expected. Oh god. So yeah, there's that rant thing, I guess. That's all for now. I will talk to you lovely, lovely people later. I hope you have a great day, night, or whatever. And if you are someone who I consider a very ungrateful artist, I hope that this helps you reconsider what you've done. So that's all. Alright, I will see you guys in the next video. Kurokku out.